Vandeham Shri Guru Shiyata Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganaraganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Sya Om Ajnana Timaranda Sya Yanajana Shalakya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gaurva Bhistam Sapurakam Guruganara Shisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shirupa Patanugam Govinda Abhidam Ujjalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Vitam Sundaram Bande Vishwagurun Shah Divyat Bhagavat Prem Noi Bija Pradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandavananam Balarka Shailanshitam Sandrananda Puram Sadekavaranam Vairagya Vidyambunim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Panditam Shubharam Mareka Shananam Nyashishvara Sridharam Vanshakopatarubyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namaha. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So this is chapter 22 of the Madhya-lila, and this is the process of devotional service. Text number 114. Vividanga sarana bhaktir bahuta vichar sankepiko hiye kichu saranangasar. I shall say something about the various practices of devotional service, which is expanded in so many ways. I wish to speak briefly of the essential practices. Guru Barashraya Dika Gurur Sevana Saddharma Shika Pricha Sadhu Marganugaman. On the path of regular devotional service, one must observe the following items. One must accept a bona fide spiritual master. One must accept initiation from him. One must serve him. One must receive instructions from the spiritual master and make inquiries in order to learn devotional service. One must follow in the footsteps of the previous acharyas and follow the directions given by the spiritual master. Krishna Prite Bogatyag, Krishna Tirte Vas, Javan Nirvaha Pratigraha, Ekadasi Upavas. The next steps are as follows. One should be prepared to give up everything for Krishna's satisfaction, and one should also accept everything for Krishna's satisfaction. One must live in a place where Krishna is present, a city like Vrindavan or Mathura or a Krishna temple. One should acquire a livelihood that is just sufficient to keep body and soul together. One must fast on the Ekadasi day. Datri Ashwatama, Datri Ashwatago Bipra Vaishnava Pujan, Seva Nama Paradari Dure Visarjan. One should worship daitri trees, banyan trees, cows, brahmanas, and devotees of Lord Vishnu. One should avoid offenses against devotional service in the holy name. There are 10 items in the beginning of devotional service up to the point of worshiping the datri trees, banyan trees, cows, brahmins, and devotees of the Lord. The 11th item is to avoid offenses when rendering devotional service and chanting the holy names. Avaishnava Sangatyag Bahu Sishyana Koriba Bahu Granta Kala Bai Kala Bhyasha Vyakyana Barjiba. The 12th item is to give up the company of non-devotees. One should not accept an unlimited number of disciples. One should not partially study many scriptures just to be able to give references and expand explanations. Hani labesam shoka dira basana hoiba anya deva anya shastra ninda nakoriba. The devotee should treat loss and gain equally. The devotee should not be overwhelmed by lamentation. The devotee should not worship demigods, nor should he disrespect them. Similarly, the devotee should not study or criticize other scriptures. Vishnu Vaishnava Ninda Gramya Varta Nashuniva Prani Matre Manobhake Udbegana Diva. The devotee should not hear Lord Vishnu or his devotees blaspheme. The devotee should avoid reading or hearing newspapers or mundane books that contain stories of love affairs between men and women or subjects palatable to the senses. Neither by mind nor word should the devotee cause anxiety to any living entity, regardless how insignificant he may be. Shravanam kirtam smaranam pujana bandhana paricharya dasya sakya atmanivedana. After one is established in devotional service, the positive actions are hearing, chanting, remembering, worshiping, praying, serving, accepting servitorship, becoming a friend, and surrendering fully. Agrenritya Gita Vigyapti Dandavanati Abhyutana Anubraja Tirtha Grihegati. One should also dance before the deity, sing before the deity, open one's mind to the deity, offer obeisances to the deity, stand up before the deity and the spiritual master just to show them respect, follow the deity or the spiritual master, and visit different places of pilgrimage or go see the deity in the temple. Parikramastava Pata Japa Sankirtan Dupamaya Gandha Mahaprasada Bhojan. One should circumambulate the temple, recite various prayers, chant japa, chant congregationally, that means kirtan, to japa and sankirtan, smell the incense and flower garlands offered to the deity, and eat the remnants of food offered to the deity. Prasadam. Aratrik Mahotsava Srimurti Darshan Nijapriyadana Dhyana Tadiya Sevan. One should attend arti and festivals, see the deity, present what is very dear to oneself to the deity, meditate on the deity, and serve those related to the Lord. Tariya Tulasi Vaishnava Matura Bhagavat Echarira Seva Hoy Krishnera Abhimat. Tariya means the tulsi leaves, the devotees of Krishna, the birthplace of Krishna, Mathura, and the Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna is very eager to see his devotees serve Tulasi Vaishnavas, Mathura, and Bhagavatam. After item 26, meditation, the 27th is to serve Tulsi, the 28th is to serve the Vaishnavas, the 29th is to live in Mathura, the birthplace of Lord Krishna, and the 30th is to read Srimad Bhagavatam regularly. Krishnarte Akila Cheshta Tat Kripa Valokan Janma Dinari Mahotsava Loya Bhaktagan. One should perform all endeavors for Krishna. One should look forward to his mercy. One should partake of various ceremonies with devotees, ceremonies like Lord Krishna's birthday or Ramachandra's birthday. Sarvata Sharana Sarvata Sharanapati Kartikari Brata Chatushashti Anga E Parama Mahatva. One should surrender to Krishna in all respects. One should observe particular vows like Kartik Vrata. These are some of the 64 important items of devotional service. Sadhusanga Nam Kirtan Bhagavata Shravan Mathurabhasa Sri Murtir Shradaya Sevan. One should associate with devotees, chant the holy name of the Lord, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, reside at Mathura, and worship the deity with faith and veneration. Sakala Sadhana Shreshte Pancha Anga Krishna Prema Janmaya E Panchera Alpasanga. These 5 items of devotional service are the best of all. Even a slight performance of these 5 awakens love for Krishna. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur points out that there are 35 items up to the point of observing special vows in the month of Kartik. To these 35 items, another 4 are added, namely, marking tilak on different parts of the body, writing the names of the Lord all over the body, accepting the Lord's garland, and accepting Charanamrita. These 4 items are understood to be included by Kaviraj Goswami within Archanam, worship of the deity. Although these items are not mentioned here, they are to be added to the previous 35 items. Thus, the total number becomes 39. To these 39 should be added 5 others: association with devotees, chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, reading Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, residing in Mathura, the birthplace of Krishna, and worshiping the Lord with great respect and veneration. The 39 items plus these 5 come to a total of 44. If we add the previous 20 items to these 44, the total number becomes 64. The 5 items mentioned above repeat previously mentioned items. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami states, Anganam Panchakasyasya Purva Vilikitasya Cha Nikila Shraischa Abodhaya Punarapiyatra Samsanam. The glorification in these 5 items, association with devotees, chanting the holy names, and so on, is to make known the complete superiority of these 5 practices of devotional service. The 64 items of devotional service include all the activities of the body, mind, and senses. Thus, the 64 items engage one in devotional service in all respects. Shraddha Visheshata Priti Sri Murtir Angri Sevane. With love and faith, with love and full faith, one should worship the lotus feet of the deity. Srimad Bhagavatartanam Ashvaro Rasikai Saha Sajati Yashaye Snigde Sado Sangha Swato Bare. One should taste the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam in the association of pure devotees, and one should associate with the devotees who are more advanced than oneself and thus are endowed with a similar type of affection for the Lord. So here we are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's containing the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam as presented by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that way we're hearing. As far as here it says, one should associate with someone who's a little bit more advanced than oneself. That doesn't mean that this idea is, it will be difficult for one to associate with someone who is very much more advanced than oneself, but with someone who's a little more advanced than oneself, it's good to establish some friendship with that person. That will help one. The words Sajati Yashaye, Snigde Sado Sangha, Svatovari are very important. One should not associate with professional Bhagavatam reciters. A professional Bhagavatam reciter is one who is not in the disciplic succession or one who has no taste for bhakti yoga. Simply on the strength of grammatical knowledge and word jugglery, professional reciters maintain their bodies and their desires for sense gratification by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. One should also avoid those who are averse to Lord Vishnu and his devotees, those who are Mayavadis, those who offend the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, those who simply dress as Vaishnavas or so-called Goswamis, and those who make a business by selling Vedic mantras and reciting Srimad Bhagavatam to maintain their families.
Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj ki.
One should not try to understand Srimad Bhagavatam from such materialistic people. According to the Vedic injunctions, Yasha Devi Para Bhakti, the Srimad Bhagavatam can be recited only by one who has unflinching faith in the lotus feet of Krishna and his devotees, the spiritual master. One should try to understand Srimad Bhagavatam from the spiritual master. The Vedic injunction states, Bhaktya Bhagavatam Grayam na Budhya na cha Tikkaya. One has to understand Srimad Bhagavatam through the process of devotional service and by hearing the recitation of a pure devotee. These are the injunctions of the Vedic literatures, Shruti and Smriti. Those who are not in the disciplic succession and who are not pure devotees cannot understand the real mysterious objective of Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Nama Sankirtanam Shriman Mathura Mandale Stiti. One should congregationally chant the holy name of the Lord and reside in Vrindavan. Srila Narottam Das Thakur has sung, Shri Goda Mandala Bhumi Jeba Jani Chintamani Tarahoy Braja Bhumi Bas. One who understands the transcendental nature of Navadip and its surrounding area where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enacted his pastimes resides always in Vrindavan. Similarly, living in Jagannath Puri is as good as living in Vrindavan. The conclusion is that Navadip Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham, and Vrindavan Dham are identical. However, if one goes to Mathura Mandala Bhumi, meaning Vrindavan, for sense gratification or to make a livelihood, he commits an offense and is condemned. Whoever does so must be penalized in the next life by becoming a hog or a monkey in Vrindavan Dham. After taking on such a body, the offender is liberated in the next life. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur remarks that residing in Vrindavan with a view to enjoy sense gratification surely leads the so-called devotee to a lower species. Duru had bhuta viryesmin shraddha durestu panchake yatra svapopi sanbandha shaddiyam bhavajanmane. The power of these 5 principles is very wonderful and difficult to understand. Even without faith in them, a person who is offenseless can awaken his dormant love of Krishna simply by being a little connected with him. Eka anga sade keho sade bahu anga nishta hoile upajai primera taranga. When one is firmly fixed in devotional service, whether he executes one or many processes of devotional service, the waves of love of Godhead will awaken. The 9 processes of devotional service are Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Parasevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasham, Sakyamatma Nivedanam. Eka Ange Siddhi Paila Bahu Bhaktagan Ambari Shadi Bhakter Bahu Angasadan. So those 9 are Shravanam, hearing, Kirtanam, glorifying or speaking, Vishnu Smaranam, meditating and remembering the Lord, Parasevanam, serving the Lord's lotus feet, archanam, offering worship, bandhanam, offering prayers, dashyam, to become a servant of the Lord, sakyam, to establish friendship with the Lord, and atma nivedanam, to surrender everything in the service of the Lord. Ek ange siddhipaila bahu bhaktagan, ambari shadi bhaktir bahu anga sadan. There are many devotees who execute only one of the 9 processes of devotional service. Nonetheless, they get ultimate success. Devotees like Maharaj Ambarish execute all 9 items, and they also get ultimate success. Shri Vishnu Shravane. Shri Vishnu Shravane Parikyad Abhavad Vayasaki Kirtane Pralada Smarane Tat Angri Bhajane Lakmi Pritu Pujane Akroras Tvabi Bandane Kapir Patir Dasheta Sakyarjuna Saraswat Manidane Balir Abut Krishnaptir Ishampura. Maharaj Parikshit attained the highest perfection, shelter at Lord Krishna's lotus feet, simply by hearing about Lord Vishnu. Sukadeva Goswami attained perfection simply by reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. Prahlad Maharaj attained perfection by remembering the Lord. The goddess of fortune attained perfection by massaging the transcendental legs of Mahavishnu. Maharaj Prithu attained perfection by worshipping the deity, and Akrura attained perfection by offering prayers unto the Lord. Vajrangaji, Hanuman, attained perfection by rendering service to Lord Ramachandra, and Arjuna attained perfection simply by being Krishna's friend. Bali Maharaj attained perfection by dedicating everything to the lotus feet of Krishna. Savai mana Krishna padara vindayor vachamsi vaikunta gunanuvarnane karo harer mandira marjanadishu shrutim shakara chuta satkata katodaye mukunda lingalaya darshane drisho tadbrityat gatra Sparashenga Sangamam Granam Shatatpara Saroja Sorabe Srimat Tulasha Rasanam Tadarpite Pado Harer Ketra Padanu Sarpane Shiro Rikesha Shiro Rishikesha Parabhivandane Kamam Shadashe Natu Kamakamyaya Yatotama Shloka Janashraya Rati. Maharaj Ambarish always engaged his mind at the lotus feet of Krishna. His words in describing the spiritual world and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his hands in cleansing and washing the Lord's temple, his ears in hearing topics about the Supreme Lord, his eyes in seeing the deity of Lord Krishna in the temple, his body in embracing Vaishnavas or touching their lotus feet, his nostrils in smelling the aroma of the tulsi leaves offered to Krishna's lotus feet, his tongue in tasting food offered to Krishna, his legs in going to places of pilgrimage like Vrindavan and Mathura or to the Lord's temple, his head in touching the lotus feet of the Lord and offering him obeisances, and his desires in serving the Lord his head in touching the lotus feet of the Lord and offering him obeisances, and his desires in serving the Lord faithfully. In this way, Maharaj Ambarish engaged his senses in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. As a result, he awakened his dormant loving propensity for the Lord's service. So are those individuals who follow one or two or any number of these 9 processes of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Parasevanam, Archanam, Dasham, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasham, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. But Maharaj Ambarish observed all 9 processes. So some devotees observe 1, 2, and some observe all. But Maharaj Ambarish successfully always heard about the Lord, always chanted His glories, and always remembered the Lord, and followed all the process of serving the Lord. Kamantyaji Krishna Bhaje Shastra Agyamani Devarishi Pitra Diker Kabu Nahi Rini. If a person gives up all material desires and completely engages in the loving service of Krishna, is enjoined in the revealed scriptures, he is never indebted to the demigods, sages, or forefathers. After birth, every man is indebted in so many ways. He is indebted to the demigods for their supplying necessities like air, light, and water. When one takes advantage of the Vedic literatures, one becomes indebted to great sages like Vyasadeva, Narada, Devala, and Ashita. When one takes birth in a particular family, becomes indebted to his forefathers. We are even indebted to common living entities like cows, from which we take milk. Because we accept service from so many animals, we become indebted. However, if one is completely engaged in the Lord's devotional service, he is absolved of all debts. This is confirmed in the following verse quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam. So when one takes to devotional service, one is relieved from debts to others, such as his family, such as demigods, such as his forefathers. Because just by being engaged in devotional service, he has paid his debt to everyone. Devarshi bhutapta nrinam pitrinam nakingaro nayam ranicha rajan sarvatmanaya sharanam sharanyam gato makundam pariritya kartam. One who has given up all material desires and taken full shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, who gives shelter to all, is not indebted to the demigods, great sages, ordinary living beings, relatives, friends, mankind, or even his forefathers who have passed away. So normally one would be indebted to one's forefathers, and one would offer shraddha to them to help them in their advancement once they leave this material world. But one who's a devotee doesn't have to engage in any rituals. He satisfies everyone just by the fact, like it is said, if you pour water on the root of the tree, all the leaves and branches get the nourishment. It is said, Adhyapanam Brahma Yagya Pitri Yagyas Tu Tarpanam Homodaivo Balir Boto Nriyagyo Titi Pujanam. By offering oblations with ghee, one satisfies the demigods. By studying the Vedas, one performs Brahma Yagya, which satisfies the great sages. Offering libations of water before one's forefathers is called Pitri Yagya. By offering tribute, one performs Bhuta Yagya. By properly receiving guests, one performs Nri Yagya. These are the 5 yagyas that liquidate the 5 kinds of indebtedness. Indebtedness to the demigods, great sages, forefathers, living entities, and common men. Therefore, one has to perform these 5 kinds of yagyas. But when one takes to the Sankirtan Yagya, the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, one does not have to perform any other yagya. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Narada Muni made a statement about this systematic performance of Bhagavata Dharma in connection with statements previously made by the 9 Yogendras before Maharaj Nimi. The sage Karabhajana Rishi explained the 4 incarnations of the 4 yugas, and at the end, and in this verse, he explained the position of Krishna's pure devotee and how he is absolved of all debts. Vididharma chadi bhaje Krishnara charan nisheda papachari tara kabu nahiman. Although the pure devotee does not worship all the regulative principles, although the pure devotee does not follow all the regulative principles of Varna Ashrama, he worships the lotus feet of Krishna. Therefore, he naturally has no tendency to commit sin. Ajnanena hoy jadi papa upastita Krishnatari shuddha korena koraya prayaschita. Ajnaneba hoy jadi papu pastita Krishnatari shuddhakori na koraya prayaschita. If, however, a devotee accidentally becomes involved in a sinful activity, Krishna purifies him. He does not have to undergo the regulative principle, the regulative form of atonement. So even if a devotee makes a mistake, commits something sinful, he doesn't have to undergo great processes of atonement. Just by returning to the path of devotional service, then he receives the mercy of the Lord. Krishna purifies from within as the Chaitya Guru, the spiritual master within the heart. This is described in the following verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Svapadamulam bhajata priyasya chaktanya bhavasya hari paresha vikarma yajchotpapatitam katanshit dunoti sarvam uridisa nivishta svapadamulam bhajata priyasya chaktanya bhavasya hari paresha vikarma yajchotpatitam katanshit dunoti sarvam uridisa nivishta. One who has given up everything and taken full shelter at the lotus feet of Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is very dear to Krishna. If he is involved in some sinful activity by accident, the Supreme Lord, who is seated within everyone's heart, removes his sins without difficulty. Jnana vairagyari bhaktir kabu nahyanga ahimsa yama niyamadi bule Krishna bhakta sangha. The path of speculative knowledge and renunciation is not essential for devotional service. Indeed, good qualities such as nonviolence and control of the mind and senses automatically accompany a devotee of Lord Krishna. Sometimes a neophyte devotee or ordinary person thinks highly of speculative knowledge, austerity, penances, and renunciation, thinking them the only path for advancement in devotional service. Actually, this is not a fact. The path of knowledge, mystic yoga, and renunciation has nothing to do with the pure soul. When one is temporarily in the material world, such processes may help a little, but they are not necessary for a pure devotee of Krishna. In the material world, such activities end in material enjoyment or merging into the effulgence of the Supreme. They have nothing to do with the eternal loving service of the Lord. If one abandons speculative knowledge and simply engages in devotional service, he has attained his perfection. The devotee has no need for speculative knowledge, pious activities, or mystic yoga. All these are automatically present when one renders the Lord transcendental loving service. Tasman mad bhakti yuktasya yogino vai mad atmana na jnanam na chad vairagyam priya shreyo bhaved iha. For one who is fully engaged in my devotional service, whose mind is fixed on me in bhakti yoga, the path of speculative knowledge and dry renunciation is not very beneficial. Etena hid adbhuta vyada tavahim sadayo guna hari bhakto pravrittaye nateshu bharatapina. O hunter, good qualities like nonviolence, which you have developed, are not very astonishing. For those who are engaged in the Lord's devotional service are never inclined to give pain to others because of envy. O hunter, good qualities like nonviolence, which you have developed, are not very astonishing. For those who are engaged in the Lord's devotional service are never inclined to give pain to others because of envy. The quotation from the Skanda Purana was spoken by Narad Muni to the reformed hunter Mrigari. Vaidhi Bhakti Sadanera Kohilun Vivaran Raganuga Bhaktir Lakan Shuna Sanatan. My dear Sanatan, I have now in detail described devotional service according to the regulative principles. I've described Vaidhi Bhakti. Now hear from me about spontaneous devotional service and its characteristics. Ragatmika Bhakti Mukhya Brajabasi Jane Tara Anug Gata Bhakti Raganuga Name. The original inhabitants of Vrindavan are attached to Krishna spontaneously in devotional service. Nothing can compare to such spontaneous devotional service, which is called Ragatmika Bhakti. When a devotee follows in the footsteps of the devotees of Vrindavan, his devotional service is called Raganuga Bhakti. In his Bhakti Sandarbha, Srila Jiva Goswami states, when a pure devotee follows the footsteps of a devotee in Vrindavan, he develops Raganuga Bhakti. So, we're following in the footsteps of those who are great acharyas, like Srila Govinda Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada, and follow in their footsteps. We are developing some taste for devotional service. Ishte svarasiki raga parama vishtata bhavet tanmaya bhaved bhakti satra ragat mikodita. When one becomes attached to the Supreme Personality of God, and one's natural inclination to love is fully absorbed in thoughts of the Lord, that is called transcendental attachment. And devotional service, according to that attachment, is called ragatmika, or spontaneous devotional service. Ishte gadatrana rager swarup lakan ishte avishtata e tatasta lakan. The primary characteristic of spontaneous love is deep attachment for the Lord. Absorption in thought of Him is a marginal characteristic. Spontaneous love of the Lord is the main characteristic. Absorption in thought of Him is a marginal characteristic, to always be thinking of the Lord. Ragamayi bhaktir hoy ragatmika nam tahashuni lubda hoy kona bhagavan. Thus, devotional service, which consists of raga, deep attachment, is called ragatmika, spontaneous loving service. If a devotee covets such a position, he is considered to be most fortunate. If one has a desire for that position of having spontaneous loving service for the Lord. One is very fortunate. Lobe braja basir bhave kore anugati shastra yukte nahimane raganugara prakriti. If one follows in the footsteps of the inhabitants of Vrindavan, out of such transcendental covetousness, he does not care for the injunctions or reasonings of Shastra. That is the way of spontaneous love. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that a devotee is attracted by the service of the inhabitants of Vrindavan, namely the cowherd men, Maharaj Nanda, Mother Yashoda, Radharani, the gopis, and the cows and calves. An advanced devotee is attracted by the service rendered by an eternal servitor of the Lord. This attraction is called spontaneous attraction. Technically, it is called Sarupa Upalabdhi. This sage is not inclined in the beginning. In the beginning, one has to render service strictly according to the regulative principles set forth by the revealed scriptures and the spiritual master. By continuously rendering service through the process of Vaidhi Bhakti, or regulated devotional service, one's natural inclination is gradually awakened. That is called spontaneous attraction or Raganuga Bhakti. An advanced devotee situated in the platform of spontaneity is already very expert in Shastra conjunction, logic, and argument. When he comes to the point of eternal love for Krishna, no one can deviate him from the position, neither by argument nor by Shastric evidence. An advanced devotee has realized his eternal relationship with the Lord, and consequently he does not accept the logic and arguments of others. Such an advanced devotee has nothing to do with the sahajas who manufacture their own way and commit sins by indulging in illicit sex, intoxication, and gambling, if not meat eating. Sometimes sahajas imitate advanced devotees and live in their own whimsical way, avoiding the principles set down in the revealed scriptures. Unless one follows the six Goswamis, Srila Sanatan, Raghunatha Bhatta, Sri Jiva, Gopal Bhatta, and Raghunath Das, one cannot be a bona fide spontaneous lover of Krishna. In this connection, Srila Narottam Das Thakur says, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti Habe Kabe Hama Bujaba Seyugala Priti. Okay. Srila Narottam Das Thakur says, Rupa Raghunath Pari Hoibe Akuti Kabe Hama Bujaba Seyugala Priti. Seyugala Piriti. The Sahaja's understanding of the love affairs between Radha and Krishna vividly expressed and manifested by the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Devotional service that accords with their devotional service is called Raganuga Bhakti, or devotional service following in the wake of spontaneous loving service. Devotional service and spontaneous love is vividly expressed and manifested by the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Devotional service that accords with their devotional service called Raganuga Bhakti, or devotional service following in the wake of spontaneous loving service. So the residents of Vrindavan, they're not worshiping Krishna because they think Krishna is God. They're just attracted to Krishna. They think of Krishna as their friend, or Krishna as their son, and Krishna is their lover. But they're attracted spontaneously from the heart, but they're not doing it as a matter of duty. They're not thinking that Krishna is God. Oh, I have to go to the temple and worship God. No, they're thinking they can't wait to see Krishna. They're running to see Krishna. They have that attraction, friendship, and love for Krishna. So, tat tad bhavadi madhurye shrute dir yad apekate Natra Shastram na yuktim cha ta lobotpati lakshanam. When an advanced realized devotee hears about the affairs of the devotees of Vrindavan and the mellows of Shanta, Dasha, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya, those are the rasas, he becomes inclined to one of these ways, and his intelligence becomes attracted. Indeed, he begins to covet that particular type of devotion. He becomes attracted to that kind of particular type of devotion. When such covetedness is awakened, one's intelligence no longer depends on the instructions of Shastra, revealed scriptures, or on logic and argument, because he's spontaneously attracted. And who has spontaneous love for the Lord doesn't have to follow all the rules and regulations, because the rules and regulations are for always remembering Krishna and not forgetting Krishna. But one who's spontaneously attracted on a real level, not on an level of imitation, that person doesn't have to follow rules and regulations, because he's already always remembering Krishna and never forgetting him. He has that strong love in his heart, so he can't forget Krishna. Baya antar ihar duita sadan, baye sadaka dehe kore shravana kirtan, mani nija siddha deho koreya bhavan, ratri dine kore braje krishnera sevan. There are two processes by which one may execute this Raganuga Bhakti, external and internal. When self-realized, the advanced devotee externally remains like a neophyte, appears like a beginner, and executes all the Shastric injunctions, especially those concerning hearing and chanting. But within his mind, in his original purified, self-realized position, he serves Krishna in Vrindavan in his particular way. He serves Krishna 24 hours a day, all day and night. Seva sadaka rupena, siddha rupena, chatrahi tadbhava lipshuna karya, braja lokanu sharata. The advanced devotee who is inclined to spontaneous loving service should follow the activities of a particular associate of Krishna's in Vrindavan. He should execute service externally as a regulated devotee as well as internally from his self-realized position. Thus, he should perform devotional service both externally and internally. So, externally, he may appear as following all the principles and all the rules, but internally he already has a spontaneous attraction for the Lord. So externally he's following everything, but internally from his self-realized, but internally he's going on the basis of his spontaneous attraction for the Lord. Thus he should perform devotional service both externally and internally. Nija bhishta Krishna preshta pancheta pacheta lagiya nirantara seva kori antarmana hoya. Actually, the inhabitants of Vrindavan are very dear to Krishna. If one wants to engage in spontaneous loving service, one must follow the inhabitants of Vrindavan and constantly engage in devotional service within his mind. Krishnam smaranam janam chasya prishtam nija samihitam tata kata ratas chasho kuryad vasam vrajasada. The devotee should always think of Krishna within himself and should choose a very dear devotee who is a servitor of Krishna in Vrindavan. One should constantly engage in topics about that servitor and his loving relationship with Krishna, and one should live in Vrindavan. If one is physically unable to go to Vrindavan, he should mentally live there. Dasha Sakya Pitrade Preya Siragan Ragamarge Nija Nija Bhaviraganan. It's still going, right? Okay. Krishna has many types of devotees. Some are servants, some are friends, some are parents, and some are conjugal lovers. Devotees who are situated in one of these attitudes of spontaneous love, according to their choice, are considered to be on the path of spontaneous loving service. Nakarhichin matpara shandarupe nang shanti no me nimisho ledihiti yesha maham priya atma sutascha Saka Gurur Sudrido Daivam Ishtam. My dear Mother Devahuti, O emblem of peace, my weapon, the disc of time, never vanquishes those for whom I am very dear, for whom I am the supersoul, son, friend, spiritual master, well-wisher, worshipable deity, and desired goal. Since the devotees are always attached to me, they are never vanquished by the agents of time. This was spoken by Kapila Dev to his mother Devahuti and is recorded in Srimad Bhagavatam. Kapila Dev instructed his mother in Sankhya Yoga, but the importance of Bhakti Yoga is mentioned here. Later, Sankhya Yoga was imitated by atheists, whose system was founded by a different Kapila Dev, Rishi Kapila Dev. But this is talking about Kapila Dev from the Srimad Bhagavatam, who instructed his mother Devahuti. Patiputra Surid Bratri Pitrivan Maitravadarim Nadjayantis Sadojuktas Tebyo Piha Namo Nama Pati Putra Surid Bratri Pitrivan Mitravadarim Ye Jayanti Sadod Juktas Tebyo Piha Namo Namaha. Let me offer my respectful obeisances again and again to those who always eagerly meditate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a husband, son, friend, brother, father, or intimate friend. Emata kore jeva raganuga bhakti krishnara charane tara upajaya priti. If one engages in spontaneous loving service to the Lord, his affection for the lotus feet of Krishna gradually increases. Pitri ankurirati bhava hoy duinam ja hoite bhashahana Sri Bhagavan. In the seed of affection, there is attachment which goes by two names, Rati and Bhava. The Supreme Personality of God comes under the control of such attachment. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments on this verse. Externally, a devotee performs all the items of devotional service in 9 different ways, beginning with Shravanam Kirtanam, and within his mind he always thinks of his eternal relationship with Krishna and follows in the footsteps of the devotees of Vrindavan. If one engages oneself in the service of Radha and Krishna in this way, one can transcend the regulative principles enjoined in the Shastras and through his spiritual master fully engaged in rendering spontaneous love to Krishna, or spontaneous loving service to Krishna. In this way he attains affection at the lotus feet of Krishna. Krishna actually comes under the control of such spontaneous feelings, and ultimately one can attain association with the Lord. Jaha hoite pai Krishnera prema sevan aita kohilun abhidheya vivaran. That by which one can attain loving service to the Lord I have described in detail as execution of devotional service called abhidheya. Abhidheya sadhana bhakti ebe kahilun sanatan sankepe kohilun vistar najai varnan. My dear Sanatan, I have briefly described the process of devotional service and practice, which is the means for obtaining love of Krishna. It cannot be described broadly. Abhidheya sadhana means talked about what I am capable. It cannot be described broadly. It means that you can go on talking and talking and talking, but it will never come to the end. Abhidheya sadhana bhakti shune jejan achirat pai Shri Krishna Premadan. Whoever hears this description of the process of practical devotional service very soon attains shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna in love and affection. Shri Rupa Raghunath Parijara As Chaitanya Charitamrita Kohe Krishnadas, praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I Krishnadas narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya-lila, 22nd chapter, describing the execution of devotional service. Now we'll sing Hari Harai. Hari Harai Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama Hari Harai Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Marana Mohan Giridhari Gopinatha Marana Mohan Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Garadhara Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Garadhara Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatam Bhakta Raghunath Jai Rupa Sanatam Bhakta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Echai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Echai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Jao Ete Vignana Shabishta Puran Jao Ete Vignana Shabishta Puran Echai Gosai Jar Muitaradas Echai Gosai Jar Muitaradas Kasavar Pada Renu Mora Panchagras Kasavar Pada Renu Mora Panchagras Kadir Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanibas Kadir Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanibas Janame Janame More Abhilas Janame Janame More Abhilas Echai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas Echai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Manjai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Manjai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamudas Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamudas Hare Krishna